HXW Music is a company focused on creating electronic drum sets. They've been around for more than 10 years, and in 2019 they first brought their kits to the US market on Amazon. HXW currently offers two drum kits, the SD61 and the SD201-C. A representative of the company reached out to me via email and asked if I'd like to have a look at one of their drum kits. For the sake of transparency, yes, I did receive the SD201-C for free from HXW, and I've had the kit for about a month now. There's a couple things I'm not big on, but I was initially kind of hesitant since I hadn't heard of them before. But I think HXW may be able to make their mark and compete with some of the more prominent name brands in the US market. So in terms of comparison, to me at least, the SD201-C seems like a close competitor to the Alesis Surge Mesh, at least in terms of the specs. It's pretty affordable, but it's a little more expensive than the Surge Mesh, that is. The naming scheme, a little weird, kind of cumbersome, but it's kind of true to most electronic kits, like that new Roland kit that came out, the VAD506. And it's not really the most professional electronic kit around, but it's more useful to me than my Alesis Strike, if you can actually believe it. So kind of a quick overview, the SD201-C is a 5-piece mid-range electronic drum kit with 3 cymbals. The company touts high performance, vivid dynamics, and accurate response. Just like all the other competitors today, the kit features mesh drum heads. All the drums and cymbals are dual zone, except the kick, of course. The cymbals also include a choke feature. The Avatar drum module includes 346 drum and percussion sounds, 20 presets, 30 user kits, and 15 play-along songs. Alright, let's talk about the pads. Compared to other mesh heads, the Avatars kind of remind me of playing a real drum head. It's not really perfect, but there's a particular give to them right out of the box. They're not as bouncy and responsive as Roland and Alesis pads. Of course, you can adjust the tension of the drum key to make the heads more responsive, but I think they feel great right out of the box. The kit is pretty compact, and I do feel a little constrained while playing. Most kits this size are similar, so it's not really a negative point. The snare drum mounts to the frame of the set. The dynamic response of the pads is fantastic. I was shocked at how the module was able to pick up on even the lightest of taps. However, the rims are a different story. They seem to have a really hard time accurately capturing quick bounce strokes depending on where you play. Like, for example, as I would circle around any of the given pads of rims, varying accuracy of triggering occurs with the fast double strokes. I thought maybe it was a setting problem within the module, but no matter what I changed, it remained a problem. The cymbals, they're relatively decent. They feel kind of cheap when playing. The triggering itself functions excellent. The cymbals included are larger in diameter, 12 inches, than what you get with the Alesis Surge Mesh, which is a plus in my book. The hi-hat, it actually works better than my Alesis Strike drum kit, which is nearly $2,000. Doubles and fast 6 strokes are no problem between both the edge and the bow sensor. Opening the hats midway poses no issue either. One of the more disappointing aspects of the SD201-C is the drum module. The sounds aren't the greatest, but they get the job done. Take my personal review of the samples with a grain of salt, because I'm a little cynical about drum sounds, but you'll get to hear all the different preset kits in a bit here. Newer drummers will most likely be happy with the kit presets and sounds. That said, there's one thing that the company should probably change before running additional production of the kit, and that's the mix level of the drums. Right out of the box, the cymbals on most of the presets are far too loud overall, and adjusting them is not easy. At first, I had an issue trying to change the mix levels, but I eventually figured out how to do it within the module, but it's still kind of tricky to figure out. So for the play-along tracks, I would just suggest skipping them altogether and using an auxiliary cable with your device and play along to songs on Spotify or your favorite music streaming service. One other thing to note on the module, there's only one line output for connecting to a PA, and I'm not sure if it's a stereo line out, but I doubt it. So if you're not big on the sounds that come in the module, using drum VSTs is very easy. I plugged my module into my computer and loaded up Addictive Drums 2, and it worked very easy. The only thing I had to do was remap the module to GM mapping. Takes a couple extra minutes, but it's really not too big of a deal. So overall, I like the SD201-C from HXW. However, I think the company can make some improvements. The module desperately needs an upgrade in terms of user experience. The pads need work in terms of the rim triggering as well. The cymbals are decent. They could be a little thicker for added durability. The kick tower should be a mesh pad, considering the fact that you're already more expensive than the Alesis Surge Mesh, and that kit has a kick tower with a mesh kick drum pad. Overall, I think it's decent. It's not my favorite E-kit of all time. At this price point, I probably still would stick with Alesis and go with something like the Surge Mesh. So that is the review of the HXW SD201-C electronic drum kit. And once again, thanks for watching.